Never been political. People tell me that it's making me a prisoner. You like voting? Do you? I'm doing me, I ain't concerned about what you do. People fighting over politics. Hit the streets 50 deep, start rioting. Man, see, I don't know a lot, but I know enough to know there's rules and whatnot. If you make the wrong move, then you probably getting shot. And I ain't talking about a stranger, I'm talking about the cops. Shit's tearing my country apart. Watching the fucking news and I don't know where to start. I wanna get this up, but I know I ain't got the heart. My future is not certain, my moves gotta be smart. But how I'm supposed to win with a government full of sharks? I'm trying to feed my babies and the war's about to start. I don't know what's wrong with this world. I be thinking I don't belong in this world. Sometimes I don't wanna be a part of this world, feeling like I wasn't supposed to be on this world. I don't know what's wrong with this world. I be thinking I don't belong on this world. Sometimes I don't wanna be a part of this world, feeling like I wasn't supposed to be on this world. I think differently, and we can't get along if we don't have the right chemistry. I'm not content with my existence. Another man's decision could ruin my way of living. The mental and physical abuse given to women. Terrified, don't wanna die, then you kill them. Afraid the situation's beyond my control, and it isn't gonna change till my children are grown. There's a ceiling that most of us are never gonna reach. Terrible human beings are just laying on the beach, enjoying a future labor they never had to complete. And you got these single mothers and they struggling to eat. Glorify celebrities, rotten to the core. Paparazzi taking shots of them, shopping at the store, while countries are getting bombed. World wars at your door. All this prejudice and racism, man, before. I don't know what's wrong with this world. I be thinking I don't belong in this world. Sometimes I don't wanna be a part of this world, feeling like I wasn't supposed to be on this world. I don't know what's wrong with this world. I be thinking I don't belong on this world. Sometimes I don't wanna be a part of this world, feeling like I wasn't supposed to be on this world. Now I ain't perfect or nothing, but at least I move around with a purpose for something. People walking around blind, it's like an insane asylum, got people losing their minds. Everybody fucking each other, and 90% of them ain't in love with each other. Committing adultery, yeah, I'm guilty of it. Like I said, I ain't perfect or nothing. And some of us grow, some of us get worse. Some of us fall off, and the shit hurts. Some of us die, and that's the worst. I made a lot of fucking stupid decisions, but I learned. Niggas get out of prison just to get back in it. Baby mama drama for days dealing with rap bitches. Call them homies and friends who had your back really. Then when you finally need them, who turn their back really? I don't know what's wrong with this world. I be thinking I don't belong in this world. Sometimes I don't want to be a part of this world, feeling like I wasn't supposed to be on this world. I don't know what's wrong with this world.
Check, check. 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me? Cool. All right, let me get this little microphone here set up correctly. Move that there. Okay, cool. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. What did we miss? How long we been gone? I don't even know anymore. Yeah, I've kind of just been chilling out while the market's figuring itself out, and mostly the people. Jesus, I have been watching mostly TikTok, just chilling. And the amount of absolute and utter bullshit I have seen coming out of people's mouths in the past 2 weeks has been insane. I don't understand people's psychology when it comes to stuff that happens like this. You sit here, 3 hours a day for 2 months in a row, literally telling people, hey, you should probably take profits, you should do this, you should do that. Just kind of try my best. And then boom, it happens. Black swan event. Nobody saw it coming. Or at least that's what you would like to say. And then the market is freaking out. It's like a week before this drop, the market was so bullish. And then as soon as we get the drop, now everybody is calling for 20,000, 22, 25K. And then also saying the bull market is completely over and some people are even calling for 7K. I don't know what people are smoking. It's like they don't know how to make up their mind and they just go with the flow. I do promote that. I do promote going with the flow in a educated manner. But when you take stuff to the extreme, that's where you lose money. For me, this has always been a chronological, sequential play in the market. All right, we had a couple different layers of support. As soon as we broke this one, we target this one. As soon as we broke this one, we target this one. And we talked about it. We talked about it multiple times. We talked about, hey, if we broke 29K on BTC, there is no support whatsoever that is significant enough to stop price action until we get to 29. So what happens? We get to 29. I take my entries as we do, and we skyrocket. Now, unfortunately, I did get stopped out on Ethereum, and I did not get a re-entry. And at the moment, I can't get a re-entry. There's just no safe place at the moment. I do have the $29,227 entry on BTC still rocking, and I do plan on holding that because for me, I don't know if we're going to see beneath 29K on BTC. If we do, I would be probably looking for just a small wick, nothing major, just putting in a lower low and possibly a bullish reversal divergence on some higher time frames. But besides that, no, I just don't see it. And that's my opinion. Now, if we are going based off of the market and what the market is telling us, it's a simple if this and that statement. I can't tell you if we're going to break 29K, but what I can tell you is the odds of holding 29K and staying above it are quite high. So if we do happen to break 29K, where would I be targeting next? Probably 20K, a retest of the all-time high on BTC. If we get below 20K, that's when these, like that conspiracy theory video that I put out, I think like last month or something, starts becoming a reality. I hope you guys know that. So for anybody that is wanting to test the waters and saying, I would love for us to go down lower, I really don't think you do. I don't think you do, because that's a slippery slope. That is a slippery slope. If we start getting towards that 20K mark, I'm not saying that we can't bounce off of it if we don't go down there. I'm just saying, be careful what you wish for. That's all, because that's a dangerous game. So sushi is one of my plans. All right. Now, this is something that has just developed. I haven't been planning this for months or anything like that. Sushi kind of just fell in my lap one night. Strange statement, I know. And I was just scalping it, and I was seeing some pretty good scalps. I was up like $500 within one night. So then I just did some research on the coin to know what the hell I was trading. I was just trading the technical analysis. I didn't even know jack about the actual coin. Turns out sushi has a lot of potential here. So if you don't know what sushi is, it's Sushi Swap. Their URL is sushi.com. Right? And they are essentially a carbon copy of Uniswap, but not as popular. But from my understanding, they seem to be a lot better in terms of UI and just how they have things set up. So my ideology is if we can get sushi to catch up to where Uniswap was like 2 weeks ago, sushi should be worth about $160. So already with this little tiny trade I got in here, tiny trade, $138 margin, $35 risk. All right. Now I'm shooting for 320 just in case this bull market does exceed my my expectations. Realistically, we're probably looking for around 160, but I think we could probably go further than that, to be honest. I'm not saying 320, maybe 250, 260. But this, there's a couple different parts of me that are involved with this trade. One, it's a low risk, high reward trade. The entry was based off of technical analysis, but the speculation behind it, it's a lot of if this and that's when it comes to sushi perhaps exceeding or at least catching up to Uniswap in market valuation. Also, I just want to see if that's possible. I have never made a trade like that. If I get my maximum, like if we get to $320, I'll take profit, maybe even sooner. But just for example here, if we make $150,000 on a trade that I'm risking $35 on, that's a 4,300 almost risk-reward ratio. I just want to see if that comes to fruition, because that would be perhaps one of the greatest trades in history, for at least my history. That would be definitely something I would be excited to tell family and friends that happened. But yeah, that's about it. Let's go ahead and check out the actual technical analysis instead of me just talking about some of my positions and what we're seeing in the market. All right, let's talk about BTC first. All right, talking about the macros here. All right, we had uptrend, downtrend, uptrend, downtrend, uptrend. That gave us 3 different levels to work with. These were the 3 macro levels right here. And you can see how I came to the conclusion that if we did not find support on the 43 to 42K level, we were going to 29K. And when we were sitting at like 39, 38,000, we were in a live call on Discord. Just pretty much, there had to been like 100 people there. We were all just chatting. And I just kept saying, I was like, this should be parabolic downside. The market should be losing its shit right now, where we're currently sitting, but it's not. So I was like, are we going to just like bear trap some people here? Like, what's going to happen? And we saw a short setup, so I took that, and then boom, it shot to the downside like a rocket. That was a fun night. It was definitely a fun night. So 29K is definitely the level to hold. If we get below that, it's not good news, guys. It's not good news because technically the next target would be 16.2K. Now, like I said, more often than not, we will probably hold above 20K because if the market gets below that all-time high, that's just, I don't care what you want to say. Like, that's not a good sign at all for technical analysis. All right. It's just not. All right. If that happens, it's just, I think right now we're in the perfect position. We have all these TikTok kids talking about dead counts, dead cap bounce. Everybody and their mother who has just got into this market within the last 6 months is screaming dead cap bounce when they have no clue or have actually lived through one. All right. This might be their first dead cat bounce. Now, could it come to fruition? Of course it can. But here's the thing. When you have almost all of the TikTok kids screaming something, it's probably the opposite of what's actually going to happen. Just putting that out there. Just simple psychology. All right. I don't think the market is going to do exactly what everybody is thinking. So for me, I would be cautious about inserting a large amount of capital into the market right now, especially on Ethereum. Ethereum, it's hard because I got one of my DCAs in, but that was like a 5% DCA of the profit that I've taken on Ethereum. I think there could be more downside. All right. Now, like I said, we've kind of discussed this in the Discord. If anybody is here from the Discord, I think, like, if anything, we're probably going to see like BTC kind of move sideways, but Ethereum, I think, could push lower. I'm not certain on that because with the release coming out tomorrow with the new update for Ethereum, there's better scaling. So maybe that can reduce some of the gas fees. I haven't read too much up on it. Maybe there's some room for Ethereum to continue on to the upside. But I don't know. For me, I'm not heavily invested in Ethereum at the moment. I've taken the majority of my profits. And here's the thing, like, once again, when I took my profits, people were telling me I was dumb. And now we're sitting at a point in time where I have put some of my money back into the market at a good point to do so. But a lot of those other points to put my money back into the market have not been hit yet. So if we do start charging to the upside, I'm going to miss out on some decent gains. But the way that I look at it, if I don't get the opportunity to enter into the market safely, what is the point in putting my money at risk? All right. I've made plenty of money off of Ethereum this bull run, more than I could ever hope for. And if I miss out on another like 100, 200%, yeah, that's rough, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. So right now I'm taking it one step at a time. With BTC, these are the macros right here. If we break 29, we're probably going to 20K. I don't think we're breaking 29, to be honest. I really don't. We have plenty of bullish divergence at the moment. If anything, we want to come back up and retest this level on the RSI on the 12-hour. So let's cut down to the smaller time frame and see what's going on there. Now, when it comes to a possible wave count for BTC, this pattern alone is really something that you love to see. Whenever you have these V-shaped recoveries into kind of these rounded bottoms like this, right? That's an Adam and Eve. So that is a very, very bullish pattern, which you love to see. So if we do happen to have a breakout above 42.3K, that's going to be where we should see some sort of actual push to the upside in the market. Until then, it's kind of just playing the range, top and bottom. All right, 42.3 and 29.7. Play that range. All right, when it comes to Elliott wave structure, this is what I'm seeing right here. We can see we have an A, B, C as wave 1, A, B, C, wave 2. If you take that as the 1 and 2, right, that technically gives us a target of around $57,000 for wave 3, which conveniently lines up with a retest of this local high in the downtrend. All right, and for anybody that is kind of curious on why I'm targeting this level, why am I not targeting the 1.618? The way Fibonacci works, typically when we find support after we're getting rejected, we typically find support at the 0.382 of the uptrend that we're getting rejected from and out of. The 0.382 is actually the 0.618. All right, so when you get a rejection off of 1, but you find support off of the 0.382 or the 0.618, Fibonacci, you take the first and last, A plus B equals C. So that's how you would get the 1.618. We found support between the 0, which is the 1 to the downside, and the 0.618 to the downside. So that's kind of why I'm getting between the 2 and the 1.618 as my target, which conveniently just lines up with where we should retest just based on actual support and resistance anyways. So it's always good to see. So I'm going to be holding on to my 29K entry because I could take profit. I definitely could. But here's the thing. When we bottomed out to 1950 on Ethereum before skyrocketing to $4,000, I took my profit on that trade way too soon. If I would have just held on to that local low, I would have made so much more money. In the account right now, right, we peaked at almost $20,000. I took profit out of the account, and then we made a couple good trades after that, and now we're back up to almost $12,000, right, 11.3. All right, so the account's doing good. Not as crazy as the $100,000 account, but we have a couple trades on here that can definitely propel it to that kind of amplitude. The only thing that I need to be on the lookout for over the next couple of days is a entry point for Ethereum. That's about it, unless Ethereum is going to trend downwards. That's still kind of in the air. All right. Now, when it comes to the immediate time frame, one thing to watch out for is this level right here on BTC. That's going to be 39.9K. All right, that level has a exaggerated bearish divergence off of it. Now, I know what you're going to say. We have a higher high and a higher high. Yes, but it's so insignificant that this is considered a flat top. All right, so as long as we are below this level, technically we should see some sort of retracement down to the 0.382 or 0.5. But we'll see how that works out. Currently, it does look like we're in some sort of head and shoulders or bear flag. But we've seen these break out to the upside before. I would not be surprised if we do see some sort of break to the upside, because right now there's so many people bearish, it's not even funny. If you guys have noticed, the funding rate has not budged in the past couple of days. The funding rate has been negative or at the absolute minimum of positive. All right, that means the market is super bearish right now. Like not even funny bearish. Okay, so this is the perfect time for these dudes that are going to make tons of money to be stacking either leverage longs or their spot trades. All right, because the funding is so cheap right now to hold on to those long trades that there are no rush. There's no rush for price action to pump at any moment. All right, they are chilling at the moment, and actually they're so chilling that they're actually making money off of holding a long in a stagnated range for a little bit until it finally takes off to the upside. All right, when funding rate is negative, that's when you should be bullish if you have the reason to be so. And right now we do. We are above a very, very strong local low of 29K, and we're seeing dominance come back into the main asset that holds this market up. I don't see how you can be super bearish at this very moment. We've been bearish for multiple months when we were sitting in that 60K, 65K range because we had reason to be so. We were sitting below confirmed bearish divergences on the 12-hour time frame. How can you not be bearish? But now is the time to pivot. If you don't have that emotional trigger that tells you, hey, we've been super bearish for a super long time and we got our answer. All right, now let's see if there's any reason to pivot, because if you stick to one mentality, you're going to get screwed until you get screwed so bad that you have to change your ideas. All right, funding rate is the main indicator of what whales will do. Whatever the majority of people are doing, all right, the whales are going to do the opposite. I can guarantee you. All right, because whales care about a couple things. They care about funding and screwing people out of their money in order to add liquidations and liquidity to the market in order to pump it skywards or dump it if they're trying to get price action down like they were earlier. Because you saw a funding rate before this whole thing happened. Before this happened, before this large dump, flash crash, what do you want to call it? We saw funding at like 0.08%. Crazy high funding rate. All right, so that's what happens. I am so excited for the upcoming months in the market. I really am. Like I said, there's a little bit of like, just kind of worry, not worry, but I'm just kind of the gears in my head are running at how exactly Ethereum and Bitcoin are going to work themselves out, because Bitcoin's sitting in the perfect place to DCA and kind of just chillax and wait for price action to do its thing. Whereas with Ethereum, it's just, I don't see it in the same limelight. I still feel like we need to come down. I would be looking for like 1,500 to 1,300, if anything, or maybe just some serious sideways price action. Now, for the top of Ethereum, I have kind of changed my ideology on that. I think realistically, if we see Ethereum stagnate where it's at and then pump alongside Bitcoin, because Bitcoin I think is going to get to 140K. I think realistically we could probably see around 8 to 10K on Ethereum if they get their shit together with gas fees. But that's who knows if that's going to happen. So let's go ahead and check out Ethereum since we've been talking so much about it. Ethereum is in kind of the same situation, but yet at the moment not in a state of confirmed bearish divergence. It's kind of messing with your emotions at the moment, which always sucks. It really does. So right here we have a uptrend. Now this is just immediate time frame. We have uptrend, downtrend, and uptrend, which creates a local high at 2,764. And you can see we put in a lower high but a higher high on price action versus the RSI. That is a bearish reversal divergence, which technically, as long as we are below this local high right here, we should see a pullback to the 0.382 to 0.5 region between 2,251 to 2,116. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to chillax. I'm not going to try to over short this, but if you are going to take a short, it's a very simple setup. Usually you hate when this happens. You can't really predict when it's going to do this. You can't predict that it's going to go over and under and over and under. If it happens, it happens. It does suck. All right. But you would just have a nice little stop loss above, maybe 2% to 2.5%. And as long as you are below that local high, you can go ahead and take that entry and then target between the 0.5 and the 0.382 or the 0.5 if you want to. All right. And that would be a nice little trade. I think what I'm going to do is I have some good long positions. So if we do happen to continuously pump and we don't see that bearish divergence take us to those lower numbers, I'm good. But once we get down to those levels, I'm probably gonna be playing on the smaller time frames, looking for a bullish reversal divergence to hop into in order to ride that back up, because that would then become a 1 and a 2 structure. Because at the moment, we have a lower low here, which isn't a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all, because we actually had a bullish reversal divergence off of that right there. So at the moment, this would be considered our 1, and then we would have a 2, and then hopefully a 3, 4, 5, so on and so on. But we can't be too sure. That's all. So what's my time frame for the 100? Don't ask me about time frame, man. All I know is if this and that. 29K is kind of my if. If we hold 29K, then we'll get to that number. Usually, like, so every single bull market has taken longer. So I'm not going to say December. I would actually shoot a little bit farther than December. I know that sucks. Everybody wants the fast money, but I don't think I think you should get used to it taking longer and longer to get to these tops and bottoms. All right, which is good. Gives people like me more time to accumulate and trade. So that's what I'm thinking for Ethereum. We have the bullish reversal divergence, so as long as we don't go back below 1775, we should be good. Are you okay? Hey, I played a song at the beginning of this live stream. I hope you go back and you check it out, because I think that song relates to you, Mr. Alt. Everybody's on drugs. Especially this dude. Jesus Christ. All right. Let's there we go. Why don't I use harmonic Elliott wave targets? I did. With BTC. I did. Is Safe Mars like the new shitcoin on the block? Listen, man, I am invested in one shitcoin at a time. All right? When my pockets free up, that's when you can come spam my chat. One at a time. That is my rule. I will invest in one meme coin. That there's only one slot, and it's filled right now. Which is doing pretty. It's actually doing pretty well today. I did DCA a little bit more in last night. Like I said, I'm just chilling. I got my bags packed. LTC is in a very similar situation as well. Now, let me go to the 5 minute. You can see right here, we are getting higher highs with lower highs on the RSI. So you could have either entered here when we went back below that level, or if we get back below this level. That's another point of entry. And it's kind of the same exact setup as well. Top to bottom here, you should be targeting the 0.5 to 0.382. But I wouldn't be surprised with that triple top that we find support near the 0.618. I don't know. I don't understand why they target my channel. I feel like if there's any channel that you should not target about shitcoins, it's my channel. Like, I don't even like to look at Cardano. I don't consider that a shitcoin. I just think it's a little bit culty. It's a little bit culty. That's my only gripe. But I don't think it's a shitcoin. Just feels like there's a whole bunch of people that go to an island in robes and just talk about Cardano. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. And I'm actually kind of sad. So I've had a lot of problems with this pre-built PC that I got, which I can't complain. It's a great PC. And to have it completely assembled and sent to my door, I don't even have to mess with it. Awesome. So first I had to switch it from Gen 4 PCIe back down to Gen 3. That fixed most of my problems that I was having. But I really think that one of the M.2 drives that I got, the 2 terabyte drive, is faulty because I kept having Windows freeze up on me. Anytime I was trying to install a large game, my computer would crash and blue screen. I was getting random blue screens whenever I went to safe mode or sleep mode. And then when I cloned the drive and put Windows on the other M.2 drive I have in there, works flawlessly. Haven't had a problem. So it kind of sucks that a 2 terabyte M.2 drive just kind of shit the bed. It's like how much does an M.2, like a 2 terabyte M.2 cost? I don't even know how much I paid for it. I think it was like $400. They're about like $200 to $300. I think I might pick up a Samsung to replace it. Just kind of sucks. It's an A data, so it's not like it's the most prestigious brand. And it just kind of, like, I didn't expect it to be amazing on speeds, but I definitely didn't expect it to break. So like the main thing with like Cardano and stuff like that, I get it. I understand that Ethereum has a lot of problems and that Cardano can fix those problems. But here's the thing. Ethereum has the data of all of these coins using its networks. So with the data of where everything is going wrong, they have a much better chance at finding out where those problems are and really fixing them. And they just have so much more power behind them in terms of manpower and just actual hash rate and stuff like that. So I just think it's like a fever dream to think that Cardano can take over Ethereum's place. I have no doubt it's going to find some sort of use case, but to think that it's going to be the replacement for Ethereum, especially when they just released this new they are going to release this new update tomorrow and then have EIP 2 come out sometime next year, probably even sooner. I don't know. Like, I'm not saying that I have all of the info. I'm just conceptualizing. Obviously, there's people that know tons more tons more about Cardano and Ethereum, have compared the two, and probably have come to a different conclusion. I'm just spitting what I kind of feel out of my mouth. That's all. So if you guys really like Cardano and you're gritting your teeth at me, I'm a dumb kid. Don't let my opinion hurt you so much. All right? Let's just talk. Let's have a good time. Oh, and so quitting nicotine has been going very good. I still sometimes think about vaping. But the chemical withdrawals are done. I no longer am suicidal from nicotine withdrawal. And I still have a habit stick. Well, that's why I call it. I don't like to call it a vape anymore. It's my habit stick. So like whenever I have that feeling like I need to vape, I'll pick this up and I'll pretend to hit it. There's nothing in it. It's a dead vape. And that way it kind of like fulfills that psychological aspect. So, but I'm feeling a lot better. My lungs feel better. And one thing that I've noticed is I find it easier to laugh. Yeah, that's it. I find it easier to laugh. For some reason, like when I was watching like TikTok and stuff, I hadn't really had that moment where like you die laughing of just seeing something random. But after I was done with the chemical withdrawals, I was having more and more moments like that. And it really surprised me. And I didn't even realize that I was missing out on that. And I don't know why that is. And I don't even know if the two are correlated, but I definitely feel better. I feel a lot better. Hey Kai, you should read up on how funding is calculated. Amount of shorts versus longs has nothing to do with it. On most exchanges, longs short ratios is always 1-to-1. I don't know if I agree with you on that. Dopamine detox, definitely that seems to be what happened. And so here's like my anecdotal experience with vaping and stuff like that for anybody that is in a similar situation or might find themselves in it in the future. So from what I understand, all right, a pack of cigarettes does not have nearly as much nicotine as a single vape like this. Not even close. So I was going through this type of vape about one vape every 2 days. So, and I was chain vaping this. So even though vaping is safer for you, you end up vaping, especially with disposables. I'm not talking about, like 3 milligram e-juice. That's actually very tame comparative to, these 50 milligram disposables. You are getting so much nicotine that it is insane comparative to cigarettes or just regular vaping. These disposables are just evil, dude. They are so crazily high in nicotine. And to think that like I go on Omegle and stuff, just like have random talks with people sometimes, and like I'll stumble across like a 14-year-old that's smoking this. That's insane. Because when I went through the withdrawals from this stuff right here, I was delusional. Like I was walking around, I couldn't even think clear thoughts. I went downstairs to like grab a soda and then forgot why I was there. Like I felt depressed as hell. I felt suicidal. It was such a crazy experience to put myself through that, you know, I kind of needed some time to rebound and figure out what the hell my brain needs to get rid of this feeling. So I don't know what else to say. Like it was, I understand that nicotine can be a good chemical in some circumstances if used properly, but it blows my mind how crazy that experience was. And you don't know until you make a change that it was actually affecting you that much and that your body was so reliant on it that you're basically incapacitated if you don't have it. It wasn't like an annoying itch. I didn't have a temper. It was like a complete emotional shutdown and physical shutdown too, that I don't even know how. I don't know. It was such a crazy experience. Well, I've already quit. I've already quit. I'm completely done with nicotine. I'm not going back to it. Because, like I said, it's just that one experience there showing me how crazy that was. I don't want to do it again. You watch Chico Crypto? He's also trying to quit nicotine right now. Dude, like if you're watching him and he's like inconsistent or, you know, stuff starts happening on his channel that usually like he has a schedule, give him a break, man. Cause I just went through that. Like I'm still trying to figure out if I'm even the same person at this point. I don't know how to act. It took my brain like a full week to feel at least somewhat better. And then a week after that to kind of like chillax. And I'm still trying to regain. I don't even know, to be honest. Kick the crack next? Who told you I was smoking crack? Who let that secret out? Oh, kick the crack. Let's see. Yeah, but I don't have a whole bunch of hedge trades for my shorts. I only have this one right here, which has a little bit more margin than the long trade here, so it should balance out, even actually be a little bit more positive if it does happen to completely wipe out the long. But I'm fairly confident in the market rebounding as long as 29K holds. Like I said, BTC can move sideways and not put in a lower low, but we can see lower lows on these other coins. Like I said, Ethereum at the current moment. So these are my thoughts on Ethereum. Let me go mark that out. So in terms of like DCA, all right, these are the levels that I'm looking to insert my capital back into the market. All right, we got 1938, which I already inserted 5% of my profits back into there. We got 1531, 1287, and 917. All right, so I've kind of set up a DCA ladder for this. I got 5%. Was it 5%? No, I think it was 15%. No, 15, 40, 30. That was my DCA ladder. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. My throat is getting super dry, but I'm out of drink. I have no clue what I'm going to do. Yeah, 15. So 15, 15, 40, 30. That's my DCA ladder for these levels. DCA ladder question mark? Yeah, dollar cost averaging. So instead of, you know, waiting for $900 and throwing all of my money into the market, all right, I've inserted 15% of the money that I have on standby that I would like to put into the market. I put 15% of my money back in here. I'm going to put in 15% of it again here, 40% of it in here, and then 30% in here. Hopefully, getting my average entry somewhere around these levels here. All right, so that way, once the market comes down and makes a rebound, we'll go ahead and get into profit quite soon. Yeah, so it's you can't leverage trade on that kind of macro level. I do not recommend DCAing with leverage trading at all. All right, there's ways to do it. But it's like letting a demon in your soul. If you give yourself the out of DCAing with leverage trading, it can lead you down a dangerous road of complete loss. I'm telling you right now. All right, it doesn't seem like it. It seems like you can control yourself, right? As soon as you start DCAing with leverage trading, unless you have some sort of bot that's helping you, that makes sure that everything is kosher and exactly lined up mathematically, be my guest. Be my guest and try it. I've been down that path. That's why I'm advising against it. All right. I've had a lot more success making sure that I get the exact right entry the first time, or I get wicked out and have to re-enter because it's an if this and that statement. I'd rather do that. With leverage trading is so dangerous. It's not about, oh, I missed my entry, but we're close enough. Let me go ahead and take that. There's times where I'll do it just because, you know, on these challenge accounts I can. But if you're being serious, leverage trading, you need to be pinpoint accurate. If you're not pinpoint accurate with leverage trading, you are sacrificing so much. All right, with spot trading, you can DCA across multiple high level take profit, entry points and be fine. Give it enough time. With leverage trading, you don't have that luxury. All right, you need to be accurate and precise and not afraid. All right, when we dipped down to 29K and we hit that local low, I entered. That's how you get these entries. And people ask me all the time, like, how do you do this? It's because I just do it. All right, there's nothing complicated about drawing lines on your screen like we just did right here and then taking the freaking entries. But the difference is, do you do it? Do you do it? That's the only difference. So for me, I just hate when people miss these opportunities that they're clearly planning on, but they just miss it because they're afraid. That's all. That's the only reason why they miss the entries. There should be no excuse of the such that I was afraid to enter. If you have good risk management and you've seen your technical analysis get hit and work out before, you should have the confidence to go ahead and enter. It's as simple as that. All right, if you're afraid to enter because you're going to lose your entire account if you do it, then why you just don't risk your entire account? As simple as that. Oh. Well, I do think there could be a possible pullback tomorrow, but I don't think there's going to be a major crash tomorrow. It's like that. So okay, we had that insider on 4chan who came out of nowhere, said there's gonna be some China FUD. We're gonna drop down. We're trying to liquidate a big player. And they called it with some good but here's the thing, people don't understand. All right, the only thing that I can't really say is how did they know about the China FUD? But besides that, it's pretty easy to make up that story. All right. I could have been the insider and been okay. Like if we break 43K, we're probably going to have a parabolic dump to 29K. Let's go on 4chan and screw with some people's heads. And then boom, it happens. And then now people are like trying to find out who this insider is, who's this big player they're trying to liquidate, and doing all of this investigative work. And now you have people that come on and they pose as the insider going, we're orchestrating a dump at 8 p.m. PST tomorrow to 25K, which never happened, by the way. All right. That was like 5-6 days ago that was supposed to happen. All right. Stuff like that boggles my mind why people even buy into it for a slight second. I don't understand. It doesn't take that much critical thought to guess that this stuff will happen. It's simple support and resistance. So I love like the humans like construct where like stuff will happen that's going to happen, and now they need to make it into some sort of movie. It has to be a movie. Stuff can't just happen. It has to be an elaborate plot by the the Chinese government to shut down. It has to be Elon Musk. Stuff can happen just because it's gonna happen. That's all. I'm in such a weird mood today. So much stuff has happened today that I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm mad. This is what it looks like to be everything at once. Could you say that the pump from December 2018 to June 2019 is a W1, and then there's a bottom of COVID, dump wave 2, then pump? Yes. I think I've drawn that out before, but yes. For the guy who asked if the pump from December 2018 to 2019 can be wave 1, then 2, then 3. Yeah. I don't know if the targets would be accurate, but definitely the wave count would be accurate. Like, dude, my brain has been in such a free fall for like the last fucking 2 years. All right, here's the thing. Do I believe that weird stuff happens all the time that we can't really say isn't I don't know how to phrase it. Like I just feel like the like one of the reasons why I played this song in the beginning of the live stream, it feels like everybody's on drugs. Like I don't know which side to lean to anymore. So that's why I kind of just like to be in my own bubble. I like to play video games, live stream, trade the crypto market while not listening to any news besides the stupid shit I hear on TikTok. And yeah, just let life pass me by. Because you look outside for 2 seconds, you look on the media, you look on Facebook. Facebook's I can't even. Facebook's a different league nowadays. Like I don't know what's going on Facebook. They're censoring stuff, but it seems like it's still crazy. I don't know which side to lean to. Whether everything is going down the shithole, and if there's tons of conspiracies and the world's about to end, or if everybody is just getting so delusional that it's eventually going to become true at some point, because now everybody is believing the same thing. I swear I am just going to go live in the woods with Starlink internet until it finally fails and just live out the rest of my life. Oh my gosh. Whoa, don't spam. I see you. I want to join one. So if you're joining my group, strictly for calls, do not join my group. Don't join it. All right. Now, so here's the thing. A lot of people have signed up even when I was gone. All right. We have transitioned from Telegram to Discord. You know, the Telegram's still up, but if you join the Patreon or anything like that, at this point, you're not going to get an invite to the Telegram. All right. The Discord is where we do everything now. We're going to have scalping nights. Now, those scalping nights might just be us just sitting there talking because there is no scalp. Sometimes there's no setups. All right. But I do think it's cool to just hang out, talk to people, people that, you know, have a common interest. But it's a place to meet new people who are taking this seriously. I'm going to be uploading private videos to the Discord. There's private live streams every Sunday. And I will give you my thoughts on the market and setups that I see. But if your sole reasoning for joining my group is for calls, do not join my group. Period. You show you how you drew the fib on the LTC. So with the LTC chart, you had an uptrend. That uptrend is broken. You're talking about this little trend right here. All right, so if we have an uptrend here, and this uptrend breaks, right? Call this the 1. If this breaks, then we're going to go down into a 2, right? Then you would target between the 0.5 and the 0.382. Around this area. And then if we do happen to find support around this area, then you can go ahead and target the 1.618 for the wave 3. The only thing that I can really get behind is aliens. Like, me personally, if there's anything that's truer than true, it's the aliens. You're gonna have the Illuminati, the Freemasons, you know, all this crazy stuff going on. If there's one thing that I wholeheartedly believe in, it's aliens. And obviously, you're gonna have that person that comments in 5 seconds. It's demons. It's demons. Satan's trying to get you to not believe. Here's the thing, though. Like, the only reason why people, like, honestly, like, I've heard this straight from the horse's mouth. When it comes to flat Earth, or the fact that there's no aliens, what do those two things have in common? People don't know how to handle a reality that isn't solely centered around them. It doesn't make life any less special if you're not the center of it. Life is beautiful. It's a miracle. And just because you're not the chosen one doesn't mean that it's bad. Because here's the thing, like, if the Earth's not flat, that means there's an entire universe and that aliens exist, and that means that the religion, or in the way that we think of it, can't be right. And therefore their entire cathedral just collapses. This house of cards that their entire life has been built on. And it's going to take a lot of time for people to get used to that idea. It doesn't mean that there's not, God. It just means that the concept that we think of it is just not the same as we originally thought. That's all. Because for me, it just doesn't make any sense. Because if you think that aliens can't exist, that means that there is no universe and that this is just all a facade, a play, and that your ego is so large that you are the only thing that matters in this universe. You are the only thing that matters in this universe because you are the only thing in this universe. There's no difference between you and it. The only thing that you have done is convinced yourself that you're separate from everything. So therefore now, because you're separate, you need to find something that makes you feel special. But how can you feel special if you are everything? Doesn't it make sense? There's going to be so much craziness that happens over the next couple of years with all this stuff. And it blows my mind. Let's get back to trading. Yeah, let's click some numbers real quick. We said what there needs to be said. There's not much thought that needs to go into the market. You can't sit here and overanalyze everything. I'm not going to bullshit you guys and try to, get my watch time up. All right. I said what needs to be said. We talked about Bitcoin, ETH, and LTC. I mean, we could talk about these altcoins, but I just showed you how I'm coming to these conclusions. All right. We're looking for the bearish divergences, targeting the 0.382. If I'm saying that there is a possible chance of BTC and LTC and Ethereum going down, then probably everything else will as well. Sorry for the altcoins. Well, yes, that's a good point, Tom. I do agree that they're kind of using the fact that aliens actually exist as like a circumnavigation for another purpose. But I feel like people are so wary of everything that's said from the government that now they're actually talking truth. Now, it's not the full truth. It's like a half truth. But now they're not even going to believe that aliens exist. Which they're cool. They're awesome. Aliens are freaking cool. I don't get why people are scared. They're not taking our gold. Like it's such a dumb concept that aliens would only be here for gold. All right? Yeah, I mean, come on. Like we as humans, the dumb creatures that we are, from our planet have used our telescopes and our radar sensing stuff to find asteroids that are just floating in the middle of space that have more gold on them than our entire planet has actually mined since the beginning of time. So I don't think aliens are going to waste their time trying to dig through a whole entire planet to get gold when there's literally asteroids upon asteroids out there that have more gold on a single asteroid than our entire planet. They're not here for gold. They're here because they just like to, I don't know what their full purpose is, but they just like to spread love. I know it sounds weird, but aliens are just cool people. They're people, just like us. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I feel like the internet hasn't done people. It's done people good. Like I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for the internet. And that's the thing. Like if you look at the early internet, like early YouTube, early internet, it was really just like a library of information. That's all it was. But now it seems like it's turned into such a different beast. Like I don't think this was its original purpose. I wish there was like to create like a website or an app one day called the Melting Pot. You have like all of these different communication apps: Facebook, Twitter, Discord, Omegle, YouTube, that kind of put people into these bubbles where, based on their personal interests, they're fed and drip fed different avenues of entertainment, and they're linked with people that share, somewhat of a similar view. And sometimes it's like a similar view, but it's slightly different, and they lead them down this path or that path. I really just want to make a social media platform, whether it's text-based or voice-based like Discord, where there's absolutely no algorithm. People are just shown whatever at any point in time. It doesn't matter what you like, who you like, what type of person you are, what's your gender, all this stuff that we track in analytics. It just gives you chat rooms with random people. I don't know. I want that. Where there's absolutely no rhyme or reason. Call it the playground. Like when you're on a playground and you run up to somebody and go, hey, you want to play? You don't know who that person is, like what their demeanor is. You're just two kids on a playground, and now you're playing. You really don't care what their moral values are or their political standpoint. Now you're just playing. It's called Stumble Upon. I don't know if it's the same exact, so is it an all-encompassing? So I feel like Stumble Upon, like a lot of these apps, like they have to have some sort of algorithm in order to get you to stay. Hey, Kite, can you go look at ETH 4 hour? This can be an ABC correction. Starting from the... Yeah, most definitely it could be. We've marked that out. We got A, B, C. Yeah, so that's what we were talking about earlier. We have the bullish reversal divergence. You can see we marked it out right here. All right. Now we need the catapult to pull back in order to launch, or have the possibility of continuously launching here. Now, these targets are not, it's just me like ballparking, but. If you join the Patreon, you're getting a Discord link. Yes, you're getting a Discord link. Like on the Patreon, after you join, I haven't updated a lot of the terminology on the Patreon yet. But if you go to the Patreon posts, there is a permalink to the Discord. Now, that link is permanent. It's infinite. So theoretically, it should work forever. I shouldn't have to update that link. But if you click on it and it says invalid link or anything like that, just message me on Discord and I'll send you a updated link. But it should work. And don't sign up today, tomorrow, or the next day. Sign up on either the 1st or the 2nd of the upcoming month, because if you sign up today, it's going to charge you $50, and it's going to charge you $50 on the 1st. I don't want that to happen to you. That's why like I actually like going on websites like Omegle, right? 99% of the time, it's quite trash. The type of people you meet are really antisocial or just not cool human beings. But then you find that 1% that you really, you find some sort of commonality, and then it takes you down this road of talking about two strangers talking about their individual human condition, who they are, how they grew up. And I love that process. of understanding how someone became the person they are. And you just don't have that with all these other websites. You really don't. There is no room for understanding. It's all just surface level bullshit. It's sad to see. I don't know. I've just been chilling in my room for 3 weeks, just thinking thoughts. Now I am just hopping on Livestream, unloading it onto you guys. Sorry for everybody that's here for TA, but we're coming down. Crazy. It's almost like we talked about it. We have to break below 37K. Once we do that, we should come down to the 0.382. We talked about that was the level. As long as we're underneath that, you can go ahead and hold that trade. Yeah, so we're looking to come down to like 35.6 to 34.5. That's what I'm expecting. Probably somewhere around here before we get some sort of rebound. And like that would kind of look like a inverse head and shoulders. I mean, definitely, like I said, I am confident on us wanting to come down there, but there is a chance that we don't. Like I said, the market isn't like the prime place to screw people over, absolutely decimate them. There is so many people right now that are bearish in this market and is shorting the hell out of it for no reason. And like I said, for me, you know, I'm under the impression, someone called me out and said that that's not how it works, but I am almost positive when funding rate is negative, there's more people shorting than there is people longing. All right. Or there's a disparity in the money. It might not be the actual percentage of people from person to person, but in terms of the money involved in it, definitely the majority of the money is shorting. All right. So this could turn into a lopsided inverse head and shoulders right here and pump to the upside. Like I said, if we break 42.4, 42.5, this little Adam and Eve 1-2 setup would kick into place. And I believe with the liquidations that would come out of that region after breaking that level, we would definitely see some sort of massive pump in the market. Oh. Yeah, my sister left for about a month, so now it's just me and my nephew, and occasionally my cousin whenever he stops by. But so I'm in charge of this little person, and really I don't have to do much. I just have to make sure he gets, food. He pretty much does everything else. He just sits in his room and screams at video games, pretty much what I did as a kid. But this morning, I've been going to bed around like 6 p.m., 7 p.m. All right. Ever since I've gotten rid of this constant stimulant running through my veins, I've just been sleeping for 12 hours a day, pretty much. So I've been going to sleep around like 5 to 6, 5, 6, 7, between that range. And then waking up anywhere from 4 a.m. to like 6 a.m. So I woke up at 6 a.m. today, actually like 5:30 or something like that. And I'm just sitting there watching Project Blue Book which is actually an amazing show, by the way. It's about Dr. J. Alan Hynek. Um, and it's got Littlefinger from Game of Thrones in it. I love that dude. And I was just watching the TV show. So I have the little Ring app on my phone for the doorbell. And I see my nephew walk out of the house at 7:51 in the morning with his book bag on, his mask on, going to school. And I was like, that's weird. He usually doesn't leave until like 8:51. So I was like, there must be a reason why he's doing this. So then I go downstairs, I cook some chicken, and I'm just sitting there looking out the window, just looking at, just life. And I see him coming back down the road looking sad. Turns out that he comes back in and he's like, Austin, the bus didn't come, or I think I missed it. And I go, what time are you supposed to leave for school? And he goes, well, I left at 8:51, but the bus just didn't come. And I just handed him his phone, which he left at the house. He woke up a whole hour earlier. Like, I don't know what happened in this kid's brain, but he ended up going to school an hour earlier. And I thought that was the funniest thing in the world, because the look on his face when he told me, he was like, I think I missed the bus. And he thought that I was going to be mad at him. But no, that was funny. I was like, you should probably set your alarm, because I don't even know how he wakes up unless I wake him up, because he doesn't have an alarm. But no, he was so sad this morning. I did that once as a kid, but never again, because I don't think there's anything more defeating than being stressed about going to school and then finding out that you could have gotten a whole extra hour of sleep. Like, that's the most defeating thing that can happen. I'll be pissed. That's the thing. Like, you don't have, when stuff like that happens, when those types of instances in your life where no one's to blame, like, you just, like, you want to be mad and you want to just like have someone or something to be mad at, but there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing to be mad at. It's just kind of like a defeating moment. It's literally like life just said, I'm not mad, I'm disappointed, and gave you one of those little sprinklings of instances. Can't think of another example where something like that happens, where it's just kind of, it's not like a bad thing, it just sucks. I don't know. If somebody's got an example, let me know. Hello, Bew. Hello. I didn't see you. What stimulant? Just 40 cc's of pure adrenaline. No, just nicotine. That's the thing. Like, I don't think people, like, when I say stimulant, you immediately go, what stimulant? As if I was talking about, crack or Adderall, Visine, Caserta, or something like that, or cocaine. People just don't associate nicotine with a high level stimulant, which it is. Like, you have a high level stimulant running through your veins pretty much 16 hours a day. Because if you're a smoker, pretty much from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed, there's not a moment where you let that nicotine level drop below a certain amount. Oh, I'm sorry, little View. Opening your eyes is a stimulant. You should go on the 14 and this is deep subreddit. Ever tried playing Valorant? I actually like Valorant. I haven't played it in quite a while, but I did get addicted to it for like 3-4 weeks or something like that. but I just kind of fell out of it. And then I got addicted to Raft, but then pretty much maxed out that game. I've been playing Maneater. It's about a shark. And Maneater is just one of those games that I haven't played since I was a kid, where it's not like overcomplicated. There's not this huge plot. You're just a shark. You eat stuff and you get bigger. That's pretty much it. But I have to say, it's one of the funnest games I've played in quite a while. Jacob L, great day, man. Appreciate you, buddy. So like when No Man's Sky first came out, I played it like crazy, and I was disappointed. I mean, but I really didn't see like the massive amount of hate that it was getting, and I understand why I got the hate. But no, they've updated the game so much. It's literally an entirely different game. So I mean, I might go back and play it sometime, but I haven't played it in quite a while. But I did like it. I did get the Wrath of the Druids DLC for Valhalla, but after watching some videos on it, I haven't played through the full thing, but definitely seems like it might not live up to the hype, which I was actually really excited about the DLC, because any reason to continue playing Valhalla I wanted, but the DLC doesn't seem like it's going to be that good. Maybe the Paris DLC is going to be good. Games are also dangerous. So here's the thing. Yes, video games dangerous. But I'm not a gaming addict. And I know that's what a gaming addict would say, but here's my plea. All right, that I'm not guilty. Most of the time, I have the most difficult time trying to figure out what I want to play. And most of the time, like, I'll turn it on, I'll play it, get bored, turn it off. And when I do find a game that I really, really like, I play it and then I beat it too soon because I don't stop playing it. And then boom, I'm back to the same old, same old. So, I mean, I'm just chilling. There's not much for me to do. Like, I mean, obviously, like, I can go outside and just go walk for, 90 hours a week. Like, my life is just not super busy. Like, it's like that's the thing that sucks. Like, sometimes, like, I'll have these crazy stretches where, like, there's no stress at all, and then boom, it hits me like a brick, and everybody wants me to go here, 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 live stream this, live stream that. So you're saying get into Rust, which means I would have to get back into Rust. I don't have like a crazy amount of hours on Rust. I don't. I got 1,000 hours, which is a lot, but not as crazy as some people. Rust is a fun game. Don't get me wrong, but I've definitely played it to the point where, like once you get to a certain point, it's just like I've played it so much that I no longer find interest in it. It's a good game though. Definitely a good game if you haven't played it. Have you seen The Serpent Netflix series? No, I have not. Ooh! I forgot. Does Lucifer on Netflix come out today, tomorrow, or the next day? It's telling me the time. May 28th. Okay, so it comes out tomorrow at 4 a.m. my time. Ooh, I'm gonna be binge watching that tomorrow. I love Lucifer. It's one of my favorite shows. Definitely now that it's on Netflix, it's definitely one of my favorite shows, like top echelon. When it was on Fox, it was a good show, but it wasn't anything crazy. How do you long and short at the same time? So on USDT perpetual, well, actually, no, I don't even know if it's, yeah, USDT perpetual. It's as simple as opening a short and opening a long on the same asset. If you're using inverse perpetual, you're going to have to either use two separate accounts on Bybit or sub accounts. You can go to the account and security tab to access sub accounts, which is just like an account within an account. But with USDT, it's, you just have to open a short and open a long. That's it. And like, here's the thing, like with Rust, it's hard for me to play games like Rust with people that I really like to hang out with, because I'm competitive. Like when I get into Rust, like I wait for wipe day. I'm like the first one with a gun. We get our base decked out before we, log off the server. And just some people don't like to play like that. And I get that. And I just don't like to force and that's the thing. Like I typically don't find myself hanging out with people that are the same type of competitive nature. What's the day when your monthly charge for? So on the 1st is when it charges. All right. So the way Patreon is set up, it's going to charge you when you get in. All right. Because like, let's say the 1st hits and then someone signs up on the 5th. If it wasn't set up the way that's set up, then I would have to wait a full month for that person to be charged. All right. So they get a full month for free and then they can still leave before that month is up. And they just get to use my information and walk away. So, as long as it's not within like the last like 15 days of the month, people can sign up. But I just don't like people to sign up on like the 27th, 28th, or 29th and then get charged on the 1st and then act like I did it. I mean, it tells you like when you sign up, you will be charged on the 1st. It's no surprise. I don't get why people are. And the thing is like, I'll refund you, but it does suck because I only get paid like 87% of what is sent my way. So when I have to refund people, I ended up having to pay out of pocket. Hedging, right? Can you explain the logic or benefit behind it? I don't get it because it seems like long and short would just cancel out. Well, no. So take, for example, my long on sushi. My long on sushi is up 1,900%. All right. So if I think that price action is going to go down, I don't want to lose out on those profits. All right. So if I open up a short now, they do cancel each other out, but not in the way that you might think. I'm losing profit on my long, but now I'm gaining profit on my short. So it maintains the amount of profit that the long was sitting at when I opened up the short trade, if the short trade does continuously work out. Now, typically when I hedge trade, it's not in hopes to hold the short the entire time until the long gets stopped out. I simply take profit when the short gets to my target. All right, that way, if it does happen to continue and my long gets stopped out, then I've made at least something. All right. But if we get to wherever I cashed out my short and then we rebound and we get back up to the same exact price level, I've just added profit. That's all. So it can be one of two things. Either completely save all of the profit that your account's in at the moment, just in case the entire other trade gets wiped out, or two, taking a little bit less of a loss / making at least some profit, or two, actually adding additional profit to the entire play. I don't use Market Cipher anymore. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't understand what people expect the answer to be. You know, why would I stop using Market Cipher? Here's the thing. Why would I pay a subscription, either yearly or lifetime, for an indicator that does nothing more for my success than the RSI does? My mentality towards trading has switched from where's the edge to the edge is the most simple thing. It's literally Occam's razor. You spend all day and night trying to find an edge, when in reality, if you just take any indicator at all, right? You do some back testing, you find out, okay, it works this percentage of the time, and you build a risk management strategy around it that you might not be seeing crazy explosive growth in your portfolio. You're at least seeing steady growth. Boom, you got a working strategy. It's Occam's razor. The simplest answer is usually the answer. So for me, instead of spending my time with Market Cipher, which involves like 5 different indicators stacked on top of each other, and sometimes all those indicators don't line up towards one direction, confusing you, and now you add multiple time frames on top of that, confusing you even more. All right, I'd rather just have RSI, find divergences, use price levels, keep it simple. Boom. For me, it's those types of indicators are so much added noise, and it's just, yeah, they look pretty. Well, are they really doing much for you? Yeah, so like the 4 time frame strategy for Market Cipher, that was like my first strategy. And like that's the thing, like even with Market Cipher, I found myself using one indicator for Market Cipher, and that was VWAP. And VWAP's no better than the MACD cross. So I mean, it's just at the time. So like here's the thing, like I don't want it to come off as bitter, because I really do appreciate that the business practices from the Market Cipher team have changed. But I paid 0.1 BTC for a year. Now, I did receive that money back, because after I made those tutorials, CryptoFace reached out to me and he paid me $1,500. Prior, this was never planned on, but he was nice enough to do that because they got some traction. But yeah, I paid 0.1 BTC for Market Cipher for 1 year. So I mean, at the peak of the market, that was 6.5 grand that I paid for Market Cipher. So I do appreciate that he now offers a lifetime payment for Market Cipher, and it's only $400 for a year. But at the time, looking back on it, if I would have just saved my money and just went with the RSI, I would have been a little bit a little bit more wealthier. That's all. Bybit, I would say, is better for leverage trading. I think like the call to Binance is the fact that you can leverage trade pretty much anything, like Dogecoin, whatever this little shit coin over here is. You can leverage trade anything, but is that a good thing? No, it's not a good thing that you can leverage trade everything. Bybit, I've been using it for 3.5 years. It's stable. I've never had a glitch with it. Like, this market crash to 29K was the only time that I've ever seen anything go wrong with Bybit, and that was their exchange was down for a little bit, like the little swap exchange. But it was back up within like 20 minutes. And Bybit was one of the very few places, like you went to Coinbase, you went to Gemini, you went to Binance, you went to all these other exchanges. All these exchanges were down, which is kind of strange, a little bit strange, a little bit conspiracy-esque, if you ask me, but maybe it was just too much volume for them to handle. Bybit was up and running the entire time, and I was able to get my entry. All right. So, I mean, hey, they got my vote. I've had other exchanges like FTX and FIMX and all these exchanges approach me and offer me sponsorships and all this kind of stuff. And I just tell them, I'm like, what do you offer that Bybit doesn't? And then they go, we have more coins. And I go, what does that mean? Like, you have more shit coins for me to trade. Cool. That's awesome. Cool. But for me, it's a simple, why change my platform? Why take all of I've promoted Bybit for 3 years now. I'm sure many of you have signed up for Bybit. Why take all of that time invested in the Bybit and just switch to this platform because you're offering me like a couple $1,000s? It just doesn't make sense. I don't want you guys to be doing that. All right, we just went through this entire phase. Where the entire market is talking about whack off, whack off, whack off. All right. Yes. Was it a whack off distribution pattern? Yes. But what you should probably not do is start looking for that pattern everywhere. All right. Things can be similar, but don't start calling whack off every single other structure. That's what they're gonna do now. Like, if everybody starts talking about this specific structure, of course they're gonna, if there's manipulation, they're gonna force that structure and then have it break out the way that people don't expect it to break out. How are you, Mr. Beast? Like, how are you, Mr. Beast? I'm Mr. Beast? Oh, I should have my Mr. Beast cups. I threw those away. All right, Mr. Beast. I don't know if this video is ever gonna get out to you, because I'm nobody. But I will say this, Mr. Beast. I went to your restaurant and I was disappointed. I had high hopes. I didn't go to your restaurant. I got DoorDash, but it was the equivalent of like upscaled lunchroom food from high school. I was so disappointed because the pictures on DoorDash look so good, but no. Disappointment. Mr. Beast, I expected more. So like I got like a plain old cheeseburger. It was decent. And then I got seasoned crinkle fries, which weren't seasoned at all. They were just like the most bland fries I've ever had in my life. And then on top of that, the Nashville hot chicken sandwich that I got. All right. I worked at Buffalo Wild Wings for a little bit. We had a Nashville hot, and it was actually pretty damn good. So when I got this, I was expecting a Nashville hot. Turns out it was 2 soggy chicken tenders put side by side between 2 buns with Cajun seasoning on it. I was like, what? That was the worst experience of a chicken sandwich I've ever had. That was, oh my gosh, Mr. Beast. I don't know what you're thinking trying to get into the food game, but that was not it. Not it. Don't go to Mr. Beast's fast food restaurant. The best advice I can give you. All right, that's financial advice, actually. All right, we don't do that on this channel. We don't talk about financial advice. But if you would like to save your dollars, do not go to Mr. Beast's restaurant. That is financial advice because it will save you money. I did not eat it anyways. I took 1 bite and I put it back in the bag. You didn't get the Nashville hot, you got the Ohio cold. Pretty much. It wasn't cold though. That's the thing. It was just soggy. It was so bad. It was not a good experience. That's all I gotta say. Bullish or 22K still in the cards. All right, I'm not gonna call 22K. I'm not gonna call it. All right. What I will say is that until we break $29,000, the odds of seeing 22K are zip to none. All right, you might feel that's a cop out. I go, well, of course, if we break the support, we're gonna go down low. But here's the thing: like, I can't predict that we're gonna do that. All right, I play markets in a sequential order. All right, if I see a structure leaning towards a certain way that gives me an edge, I'll take the trade. Right now, I personally believe that 29K is not going to break, and that we're going to hold above it, stagnate for a little bit longer, break above 42.5, and then we'll see some upside. That's my personal opinion. Whether or not it happens, who knows? Just the way I feel. I'm sorry, but you can't judge a restaurant by delivery. I understand that. I completely understand that, and I get it. I completely get it. It's just like I understand that there's going to be degradation in quality if you get it by delivery. But like, I've gotten Outback as delivery. Is it as good as the restaurant? Being there and sitting down? No, but it's still Outback. It's still good. I've got no Charlie's. Is it the same as being there in the restaurant? No, but it's still Charlie's. It's halfway decent. It's good. All right. You can't make the excuse that it was the delivery when the delivery was literally like 15 minutes from the store to my house, that within that 15 minutes, it caused such a degradation in quality for me to call it absolute trash. All right. There's a big difference. Like, if it was like an hour drive to my house from the restaurant, I would give it a pass. I'd be like, all right, this was plenty of time for it to get cold and soggy and all that kind of stuff. No. You can't make that excuse. You can't. You just can't. Hey, Kite, been a while. What's up? Nothing much. Kicked nicotine and chilling in my room. And, Yeah, just letting the market chill out. I haven't really felt the pressure to live stream just because, I mean, we live streamed, I don't know when's the last time we live streamed. We live streamed privately on Sundays, but the market's just been bottoming out. I mean, there's not much to talk about. I don't really want to promote over trading. The most I would be saying, like over the past 2 weeks, like if I was constantly streaming, it would pretty much be the same thing every single day. Besides us talking about random bullshit, it would be the same thing every single day. At the moment, I'm DCAing. You know, I'm looking for the market to bottom out. You know, 29K holding, blah blah blah. The only thing that's happening is the structure is much more defined now. That's all. That's why I figured it was a good time to hop on, explain my thoughts. Did you hedge to get that entry price? Are you talking about which entry price? You talking about 29,227? No, as soon as that local low got hit, I took that entry. If you're talking about sushi, I did hedge. Which one is currently more likely, BTC going to 25K or going to 45K? If we break above 42.5K, 45K is like an easy, like that's going to be lickety split getting to 45K. If we break 42.5K, we have like a very high chance of getting back up to 60K pretty easily. I don't think like people understand that. Like we dropped easy. Like once we broke 43K, there was nothing holding us up until we got to 29K. But once again, if we break above 42.5K, there's no major resistance until we get to 60K. It's going to be just as easy to get back up. There's nothing holding us back. And I just think people are like, and once again, it's like the over information, like everybody's on drugs. Like you don't know what to believe in because there's so many different things happening. That's why turn off YouTube, stop listening to me, stop listening to everybody else in the market. Well, I guess you got to learn some technical analysis first, but just listen to the chart and play it sequentially. Don't listen to TikTok talking about some 4chan kid saying it's going to go down to 22K. All right. 29K is the local low. That is the support. All right. As long as we are holding above it, we're trapped in a range. Once we get back above 42.5K, we could see liftoff and possibly go back up to retest 60K. That's all you have to work with at the moment. If you start really trying to complicate things, you're just going to make mistakes. That's all. Get my short entry on ETH. Like I said, I don't know if I want to re-enter my short. It's definitely at the point where I could right now. Don't get me wrong. Definitely at that point. But I already got a decent short on sushi working that if this does happen to come down, I'm good. I'd be risking $100. I don't know if I want to enter right now. I'm 17 Kite. I like using Market Cipher. I can't really trade without it. That's cool. I'm not saying don't use Market Cipher. It's just when people ask me why I don't use Market Cipher, I have to be open and honest about why I decided not to, and I haven't been using it. If you're finding success with it, that's all that matters. That's what I was saying. Don't let my opinion sway what you believe in. I'm going to sit here and talk and talk and talk about my thoughts and opinions. If you decide to let that influence you, That's on you guys. But I just don't. Once again, like the only thing that's like kind of in the back of my head is whether or not we're going to see Ethereum continue in a downwards trend while BTC moves sideways. I just think there's a high possibility for that, because we saw Ethereum put in a lower low when BTC still held above 29K. So I mean, it's possible that we can see that happen again, just in a little bit further formation. And I just like, okay, so like with my technical analysis strategy, you know, RSI divergences, I've crafted it to be simple enough where I can teach it to anybody, but that doesn't mean that anybody can do it, because it's not just the strategy that makes you successful with trading. It's your emotional state, your risk management skills, how there's so much on the back end besides just how you enter, how you exit. The problem with Market Cipher is I just find it predatory in the way that it's marketed, whether it's done intentionally or just unfortunately. It's literally marketed like, all right, you're a single mother that's never touched trading or looked at a chart in their life. Here's Market Cipher, boom, you're making 10K a month from $100 portfolio. That's predatory. And I just, like I said, I don't want to believe that the Market Cipher team is doing this in a like an evil manner, because I do think I don't know. I that's why I don't like talking about it. I don't like talking about other people's channels and what they do and how they do it. I feel like that's a road to get into some beef with somebody. I really don't like to fight with people over useless stuff. All right. Really, it's not worth my time. And it's not like I think I'm better than somebody. Like, it's not worth my time to talk to this person or that person. Why waste your time fighting when you can either, one, be chilling, just chilling, living life, or two, doing something that's either making you better. And speaking about making you better, sponsored by Airheads. All right, this Airheads made me. I don't know if you guys understand my relationship with this single brand of candy. I would be nothing without this brand of candy. I owe them everything, to be honest. So Airheads, sponsor me. Thank you very much. I will shill Airhead coin until I die. Okay. Jonathan, we're not going to talk about that. I just went on a rant. Now, that's food. All right. I can critique food. I feel like that's in my right. I didn't realize oh my God. It's a green Airhead. So therefore it doesn't show up on the camera. I'm just eating nothing. Oh, come on. From nicotine addiction to candy addiction. I can't eat one Airhead without you calling me out. Not the sugar, bro. No. No, you don't eat candy. You guys sound like my sister. Here's the thing, like, I understand, like, new age parents, keeping their kids away from, candy and stuff like, but here's the thing, like, there's a point where it gets to crazy levels. Like, if you deprive your kid of everything that is good and wholesome in this world about being a child and growing up, and they lash out, I just don't see how you don't see the thought process in that. I just think it's good to eat things that taste good sometimes. I don't think you have to get super deep with it. Like my sister, like, she's on this like whole kick where it's like anything that has red dye in it, her son can't eat. And like, I get it. I totally get it. Like, you live natural, eat earth. But have some fun. Like, I don't get why people get their panties in a twist of all this stuff. Let's say that a lot of the stuff that you're eating has chemicals in it that are doing damage to your body, and it's going to cut your lifespan in half by maybe 5%. I say cut your lifespan in half by 5%. Let's say it cuts your lifespan down by 5%. Who cares? All right? You're human. All right? As long as you're not hurting anybody, indulge in life. Have a good time. You can treat your body with all the respect that you want and live to 200 years old, but if you don't have a good time on this planet, what are you doing? Yeah, but that's the thing, like, in a perfect world, Jason, in a perfect world, that's the exact philosophy that a lot of these parents go by. All right, but if you live in a society, you can't shelter your kid. You can't shelter your kid from that stuff. All right? Your kid is going to go to public school or be out somewhere in public where there's other kids eating candy, so they're going to have envy. Or those kids might offer your kid candy, and then boom, your kid gets to try your kid at some point is going to try candy, and then now all he knows is that this thing tasted good, and now my parent doesn't want me to go anywhere near stuff like that. All right? Candy is not heroin. All right? It is not heroin. Now, is too much of anything a bad thing? Of freaking course. All right? But candy is not going to kill you if you give a kid some candy. Like, I don't understand. I feel like we've gotten so far away from just being happy, and it's all about, I feel like going too far with health is also just as dangerous. Like I said, so if you add 5-10 extra years to your lifespan, what's that doing for you? If you're spending all your time worrying about counting calories, getting macros, and all this and all that, it's not worth it. It's like Alan Watts. Like, I hate when people discount Alan Watts. They go, Alan Watts was he smoked and he drank too much. All right, but let's break that down. All right, he might have smoked cigarettes, and he might have been an alcoholic, but he had probably more work ethic than most people in our society today while doing that. All right, so he wasn't a bum. He wasn't an alcoholic chilling on a couch doing nothing. All right, he never missed a lecture. He did so much, although he was taking part in something that he loved. All right, I'm not saying that it's healthy for your body, but you know, he talked about in an interview. He goes, oh, I like it. I'm not gonna be here forever. I'm already 60 years old. It's just that you're holding on to life so hard that you never get to experience just free, worryless, effortless life. I feel like that's just something you shouldn't impose on a kid. Like when you're a kid, like I remember like growing up as a kid, you know, my parents and my uncles and my aunts, this phrase over and over and over and over again gets put into your head. This one simple phrase that I got told a million times growing up. It was, just wait. You think you're going to live forever now, but just wait. I am never once going to tell my kid that. Because it's that I'm going to live forever mentality that allows a kid to live in this bubble of happiness for this small amount of time where they just get to, like, life is almost magical to them. They go outside, they play, everything is new. They don't have to worry about existential crises of, I'm mortal, so therefore time is limited. And if I make the wrong choice, I might waste time. They don't care about that. So I feel like there's too much just needless worry from people nowadays. It's such a bad thing. I don't know. We're going on tangents today. Like always, that's pretty much what my channel's turned into. I should really start a second channel at this point where I can just do these rants and I don't have to worry about people asking for TA. Ugh. I should probably order some food for me and my nephew for tonight. It's almost getting to my bedtime. It's 4 o'clock. And like I'm on like the granddad schedule right now, to be honest. Like I said, I usually go to sleep around like 6, 7 o'clock. Wake up at 4 to 5. Yeah, I was supposed to live stream yesterday, guys. But so like since we pivoted from Telegram to Discord, we have here, I'll show you. We have these little so this is how it looks. So you got my channels up here where I post my thoughts, the announcements, tutorial vids. I only got 2 in there right now. And then these are text channels for you guys. You got questions for Kite, where you guys can ask me questions directly. And then you got the shitcoin chat, which is mostly for our beloved Meow coin. BS chat for just random talks, charts only, and then general for actual technical analysis, talks like that. But we've been going in the lounge 1 for a long time, for a couple days now. And yesterday we just got to talking about lots of different topics. I lost track of time just listening to people talk and also talking myself. And Yeah, I was supposed to hop on live stream, but eventually got too late for that. Yeah, let me go ahead and read this real quick. I get what you're saying, but here's the thing, like, this is a whole bunch of gibbly goggly math, which just because it doesn't say that this is how many people are long and short, I don't think that discounts what I'm saying when it comes to funding rate being the amount of people that are long and short. Like I said, it might not be the exact percentages. Like, okay, there's 70% of people that are actually trading are short, 30% are long, but it's about the money involved. So, I mean, if you got someone on this 50% that has way more money than this 50%, it's going to sway that. So the percentage of money that is trading in a certain direction is what I'm really trying to say. Exactly. That's why my favorite thing to say is, well, it worked a lot better when I was 19 and doing this, where I would say, I'm just a 19-year-old kid, don't listen to me. I'm just a 21-year-old kid, don't listen to me. 21 is not that experience in life. I had someone grind my gears a little bit today, and there's nothing really you can do with those situations. Because, like, the thing is like, I might be smart at stuff like this. I might be able to make a lot of money and, you know, maneuver throughout that part of that aspect of life. But I'm also dumb when it comes to mostly like the emotional side of things. And it's not talking about don't make this deeper than it has to be. But it's just, nah, I can't. Humans are dumb. Leave room for mistakes. Don't hop on people's backs if they make dumb mistakes. There's intentional decisions that are negative, and then there's mistakes that people make. Big difference. Yeah, I would love to say that that is the case. I'm just a kid, enjoy life. Most of the time, I'm sitting there having an existential crisis, but hey, just breathe. Can you explain further your DCA strat? It's pretty simple. It's not that deep. DCAing, dollar cost averaging, is all about spreading out the money that you want to put into the market over many different points that is statistically safe to put your money into a market for a possible bounce. All right, so we have this level right here, this level right here, here, and here. And the reason we have those levels is because we have an uptrend, downtrend, uptrend, downtrend, uptrend, downtrend, uptrend. All right, we have 3 local lows here, and then the most important local low here. All right. So I'm inserting 15% of my money, which I already have done, into the market here, 15% here, 30% here, and then 40% here. All right. So up in this little echelon, I put in 30% of my money. Right here, I put in another 30%. And then here, I put in 40%. So that should technically get my average entry around this region, where the money that I put into the market here, the profits that we gain going back up to this region equal out the losses from the spot trades that we put in here. All right, so that's how that average comes into play. Profits gained from this bounce as price retracts back up from this entry, they will equal out and you'll be at a neutral gain around this region. Now, like I said, when it comes to Bitcoin, I'm pretty much fully back in Bitcoin. All right, 29K was the local low that I was looking to test. All right. But with Ethereum, I can't just insert all of my money back into the market because we aren't anywhere near a collection of local lows that are very, very important. We've only hit one, and that local low wasn't even that important. So I'm probably gonna be hopping off soon, guys. I'm starting to get a little bit tired. My eyes, at least. You don't need two kidneys. Sell one. Buy the dip. How much does a kidney go for? Human body price. There should be like a nice little chart. Yeah, there we go. Found it. All right, so a heart is $1,020,000. Wait. You're telling me a kidney costs more than the heart transplant? What? That makes no sense whatsoever. All right, because it's simple supply and demand. All right, maybe the supply for kidneys because people just keep screwing up, drinking too much, is what's causing that scarcity. But that's still what? That doesn't that boggles my mind. But I guess that's the way it is, unless let's see. $120,000. Okay, this one looks a little bit more realistic, actually. $250,000 here. 100. That's what? I still don't understand why a heart costs less. Yeah, sell a kidney. Kidneys are worth a lot of money. I'll sell my kidney. Hey, Kai, I just joined. Do you think BTC will drop today or will we reach 42K? Technically, we're bearish at the moment. I'm not saying like we're like I'm not in that whole ballpark of yeah, we're going to 22K, we're going to 20K. No. I'm simply saying that at the moment, on the smaller time frames, like let's take the 5 minute, for example, we have exaggerated bearish divergence. Or you could even say like reversal divergence, as long as we are underneath 39,930. All right, as long as we're underneath that level, we're technically bearish, and we want to see a pullback to the 35.6 to 34.5 region right here. All right. Now, that's what we're hoping for, and then we bounce from there and we continue on upwards, and we break 42.5K, and then we can actually see some upwards trends in the market. Like I said, my opinion is that we've bottomed out. 29K is the bottom. But once again, simply put, if we break 29K, $20,000 is the next bet. And then, listen, guys, I know this is going to sound absolutely ridiculous. All right. And I don't think this is actually going to happen. But here's the thing. If we get back below $20,000, my target would be $200 to $500 on Bitcoin. So I don't think the market is going to get below that, in my opinion, because that would be awful. Now, we could get below 20,000. Once we get back above 20,000, all is good, all is fine. But it's the same if this and that statement. The longer that we stay, if we stay below 20,000, after getting below it, the target becomes like $500. All right, and I don't make the rules. Like I'm not saying this just because my brain wants to make up some numbers. We talked about this and why that's gonna happen. Like, not gonna happen, but could happen potentially. All right, so like if we go to Bitstamp, let's go to the weekly chart. All right, what the hell does this look like, guys? All right, what does this look like? Tell me. Look at it for 2 seconds. What does it look like? It looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 structure. All right, it looks like the housing market in 2008. So listen, I love cryptocurrency with a passion. I think it's the future. But come on. Can we really sit here and deny that this is not a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 structure and we get back below the 3? We should technically come back to the 0.382 of the entire 5-wave structure. I mean, $100 to $379 would be the target. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All right. If you honestly wanted to get below 20K because you want cheap Bitcoin, you are potentially dooming us. That's all I'm saying. All right. Once again, I personally believe that 29K is the bottom. And I hope that we don't have to see these types of these crazy bear markets in Bitcoin like we do have to see in traditional markets. Maybe there's something special. But I mean, hey, but here's the kicker. All right. Maybe, just maybe, we, for some reason, do go down to $300 to $100. Like I said, I don't really think it's in the mathematics, like the actual fundamentals, just the halvening, the hodling, all that kind of stuff. I don't think that's a reality. But from an Elliott wave standpoint, we've seen this happen on the NASDAQ. I don't think people were expecting it to happen on the NASDAQ. All right. I mean, that would be a 1-2, and then we could target like $43 billion. I mean, I wouldn't mind that. Like I said, I said some people were gonna call me a crazy man in the chat when I said that. But hey, I don't write the rules. That's just Elliott wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get back below the 3 after creating a higher high. You target the 0.382. I don't make the rules. All right? Simple. I don't make the rules. I'm just a messenger. That's all it is. So I personally would not like to see the market get below 20K. That would be a very, very, very bearish thing for me personally. Once we get back above 20K, I can get a little bit bullish again. You are not analyzing a complete chart. Check BTC USD index chart. What the hell do you mean I'm not analyzing a full chart? Am I missing like 0.2 cents? what's the ticker I got to go to in order for you to say that this is valid? Because this is Bitstamp. This is one of the longest running exchanges out there. I hate to say it. I mean, like a lot of people talk about the legacy trend line. That legacy trend line's been broken, dude. Like, we've been broke. BTC USD index. This. You talking about this Bitstamp, the chart we clicked on. BTC US. Is this not the right chart? Is it this market cap? You talking about market cap? I usually get stopped out when placing that order if this is not something. Usually wait for an hourly candle to concur. No, I don't wait. I don't wait for candle confirmation. Under Binance does not have the most complete chart. I am sorry to tell you that. Binance has not been around longer than Bitstamp. They don't have the same amount of information. You talking about where? Like, so right, all-time history index. Here we go. Okay, I see what you mean now, but we still have a similar structure here. ABC, ABC, ABC. We're in a gigantic whack off distribution on the entire time frame. I mean, you can sit here and say that I'm missing like what, 70 cents of price action, but I don't think that's going to make the massive difference in the targets. If anything, it actually, technically would be a lot worse. So I mean, I don't know about you, but I hope the $2 or whatever the original was is the actual chart that would follow. Because otherwise, if that is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 structure, that would mean we're going to like $7. Have you checked the pi cycle indicator? Not really. I look at the stock to flow. That's about it. There's so many metrics that people like to use when it comes to BTC, and I get it. I just don't think you have to overcomplicate it. Like, you got the rainbow chart, you got the pie chart, you got stock to flow, which there's like 4 different stock to flows that people like to talk about. I just don't. People, like, if you just understand the math, like, it's simple supply and demand. All right, you have multiple different supply shocks that cause Bitcoin to be so scarce that it doesn't even really need a lot of people or institutional buyers for it to get to these astronomical prices. But once it breaks a certain technical analysis point, the institutions have to step in anyways, which causes an even further supply shock. I don't think you have to read too much into how it, like, the multiple different calculations, whether it's stock to flow, pie chart, rainbow chart, whatever, to understand price go up. Monkey smart, price go up. Like, that's how Bitcoin works pretty much at the end of the day. All right. So, I mean, give it enough time. You'll get to whatever stock to flow you want to be at. People spend way too much time worrying about, you spend all your time worrying about time. It's such just a weird concept. Maybe I shouldn't leave the chart. on that kind of time frame. Freak people out. So I have a habit stick. This is not a functional vape. This is a dead vape. I'll prove it. This is my little habit stick. So we did quit cold turkey, Frank, and we won. It was not easy, but we won. So I'm happy to say that. Yeah, the Discord is a paid group. You can join through the Patreon, but please, if you're going to join the Patreon, which like I say all the time, you don't have to join the Patreon, all right? We haven't been streaming as often as I would like. And usually I would say everything that you can find in the Patreon, you can find on the live streams, which should be the case coming up here pretty soon. Like I'm starting to feel better. You know, it's really about getting into the schedule of streaming again, like making it a habit. But you can honestly, the streams are the same exact thing. But most definitely wait until the beginning of next month if you are going to join the Patreon. I remember we were streaming for about 2.5 hours. We're still on. Marco, did I piss you off? Like I said, all right, all I'm simply saying is that from an Elliott Wave standpoint, if we went back below $20,000, that would not be good for Bitcoin. And from an Elliott Wave standpoint, we would be targeting the 0.382 of the entire 5-wave set. My original target was based off of the Bitstamp chart, which we came to the conclusion of $100 to $300. If you want to take the index chart, which goes all the way back to the absolute beginning of time, 0 cents, then you're dealing with a $7 Bitcoin. I don't think that's a possibility. I really don't. Like I said, Bitcoin is working off of different parameters. United States dollar is literally like a video game at this point, so it can kind of break the laws of just reality when it comes to working with Elliott Wave. Bitcoin, it's like it works off of the same laws of nature, but you have a human, basically someone playing God, and configuring in a way where it can't go past a certain point, if that makes any sense. At this point, like Bitcoin is going to have its ups and downs just because it's a market, but unless there was a solar flare or nuclear war where it wiped out all electronics, Bitcoin is not going anywhere. Like the people that talk about quantum computers or 51% attack are just, they want to have that in their backup plan. It's not going to happen. We have already begun working on the algorithms to combat quantum computing. That's going to be worked out by the time they're actually able to do anything. 2, China already owns 51% of the network, but the thing is, that's not how it works. You can't just 51% attack. Once again, if they did 51% attack, they would be able to double spend once, and then we would just fix the algorithm in order to make sure, or the code, to make sure that they can't do it again. And then boom, they're out. 2, I mean, 3, if there was a nuclear war or a solar flare that screwed that up so bad where it got rid of Bitcoin or made it non-functional, money does not matter at that point. That breaks all of society. Like all of our values and societal structures go out the window. All right. At that point, currency is nothing more than what do you bring to the table? All right. It's not money. It's not currency. It's what skills do you have and what resources do you have? That's it. That's your currency now. All right. So if that happens, it doesn't matter. So I don't get why people are in a fret. You're not in control of that. Can you go live on? Yeah, you can go live on Discord. By the way, why don't you take your leverage profit if you feel like BTC is going down? I hedge traded it. If you're talking about like my BTC trade, well, I mean, like if we get down to my projected target on sushi, all right, I'm looking for sushi to get down towards like 9.5. All right, I'm gonna make $1,222. All right, so it's gonna save me some of the headache if I do happen to get stopped out completely on both of these trades. Now, my main goal is to make more money than I had, not to get scared because I'm in high profit and then take all my profit and lose good positions, right? Because it is such a hard thing to do to get in a position where you don't have to stress about getting stopped out tomorrow. All right, when's the last time that you got yourself into a position where you didn't have to stress about getting stopped out within a short period of time? All right, because I've been holding this trade for a couple weeks now. All right, 29K is the local low on BTC. So if we break that, we're going further down. So for me, I rather hold on to that good trade where I don't have to stress. And you can see right here, I have $140,000 put in as my take profit. All right. Now, does that mean I'm going to hold this trade all the way into $140,000? Who knows? All right. I might take profit somewhere in between, try to compound that. All right. But as of right now, I've got my entry on a really, really good local low. I don't need to stress about taking profits right now. And I don't have to worry about getting stopped out within the next couple of hours. This is the type of trade where, like, once you're kind of sitting pretty, you know, we would have to go down 30% in order for me to get stopped out. 30%. I'm using 10x leverage. Can price action go down 30%? You know, within like a day or two, or even within a couple hours, like we saw earlier? Of course. But it's not likely to happen. All right. So that's the type of trade where I can go to sleep and not be stressed or have to wake up to an alarm and try to scrounge for another entry or see if there, you know, it just makes it easier on my mental state. That's all. Like even with sushi, like, you know, I'm up almost 2,000% on sushi, on 25x leverage. Now, sushi definitely could go down pretty quickly just because it's a low cap altcoin. But that's still a pretty damn good position. I don't have to worry about getting stopped out within the next hour. Can you show your R&R calculator? What percent? I'm using 1% pretty much, 0.5 to 1%. All right. Like this sushi trade right here, when I made this trade, my account was about 7-8 grand. All right. And I was only risking $35. All right. So 1% of 7 grand is $70. Divide that by 2 to get 0.5% risk. All right. Boom. We got $35. All right. So I was using 0.5% risk and still am up $2.6 thousand. Now, if you have a $100 account using 0.5% risk, of course, you're not going to make crazy amounts of money. But that is a really, really good example of you don't have to use 10% of your account as risk in order to really make something decent. You just need a good entry, good plan, and hold on to the trade if you think the trade is going to continue going in a certain direction. That's all. On BTC, I was using about $125 risk. I was aiming for 100, but I did a little bit more just because I was a little bit confident. And my account was already up to like, I think like 10 grand or something like that. So that one is about 1%, 1.5% risk. This one right here, this is $50 risk, which the account is sitting at 11,000 right now. So it's about 0.5% risk as well. Yeah, definitely. Like if you don't have a long entry right now, I wouldn't say FOMO into a long, even if it does start to take off. You would be looking for a entry somewhere around 35.6 to 34.5. And what I mean by that is like once we get down into that region, you're looking for like a smaller time frame to have a downtrend, uptrend, downtrend like that. And that's going to create a bullish reversal divergence. And then you can go ahead and enter. All right. Just like down here. All right. That's how trading porn is made. All right. Everybody likes to ogle over entries like this, but it's simple. All right. We had a downtrend. All right. We had a downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. All right. 3 separate trends. And then you can see right here, if I look at the RSI, this is a 125 RSI on the 5 minute. We put in a higher low on the RSI and we put in a lower low on price action. Once we get back above this level, I can go ahead and enter, put my stop loss below. And then obviously I was playing this risky. This was a really, really short time frame scalp. But I ended up holding on to it because I thought there was some potential. You know, it's not hard to find those entries. It's very, very simple. And yeah, like it sucks sometimes when you have uptrend, downtrend, uptrend, bearish divergence, and then you have price action messing with your emotions. All right. But, this doesn't happen all of the time, and for the most part, like I told somebody the other night, I only really start to get pissed off when that happens when I get stopped out like 4 or 5 times. Then I start to get a little bit pissed. All right. But once again, I'll get mad, but at the end of the day, I know I can't control price action. This is my system of entry. If price action doesn't want to give me the exact setup and work out perfectly like it did right here, so be it. I'm not going to be a little kid and cry about it. All right. I can't control what price action does. But there's plenty of instances where you could legitimately get in once or maybe twice, and the risk to reward ratio is so much higher than the stop outs that you're making so much more money. Why does it matter? If you're trying to make the absolute upper echelon of profit every single time, that's just greed at some point. There's no trading strategy where you're going to get the upper echelon of profit all of the time. All right. If you get stopped out 4 times using 1% risk and you lose 4% of your account, right? But then the trade itself works out on the 5th try, and now you add 8% to your portfolio, and now you're net positive 3.5%, give or take. All right. You've added 4% to your portfolio. Now you can lose 4 times from that point and still be exactly where you were. All right. It's all about being just a couple steps ahead of where you recently were, and you keep that train going. Right. So maybe hopefully the next time you lose 2 times in a row, but then you hit the 3rd trade and now you add 4 more % to your account, and you just keep going. Right. It sucks sometimes, guys. Trading is not just fun all the time. Sometimes it's stressful, but the best thing you can do is not make it any more stressful than it has to be. Sometimes it sucks when you have to re-enter a couple trades. Sometimes it sucks when you hit a losing streak. But if you have a method that has time and time again proven to be working, but sometimes there's points where it kind of sucks, just keep at it. And don't ever follow someone blindly. Back test. Try it for yourself with low risk. All right. Make sure it actually works. And then once you see the proof in the pudding, then you can add your actual portfolio or actual money to the stack. All right. Like I said all the time, start with $50, $100, 1% risk. Use the same exact percentages that you would use on any other portfolio. Like if you had 10 grand. All right. Now, if you use the same exact percentages of risk, margin, all that kind of stuff on a $100 portfolio, and you turn that $100 into $400, All right, it's the same exact thing as if you were using the same exact percentages on $1 million portfolio and you just turned $1 million into $4 million. It's the same thing. It's just your concept of money is causing the difference in mentality. If you just treat it like percentages and not worry about the dollar amount and just play the game long enough, you'll see. That's all it is. Play the game long enough. This is a game. All right? And you can sit here and go, "Oh, I'm a grown-up. I'm a boomer. This isn't this isn't a game. This is real money on a line. This is real life." And it is. I understand that when people lose a lot of money in these markets, they can do stupid things, and people have died playing these markets because depression kills. Hopefully, I've made it so a lot of people don't lose that much money. So hopefully I save some lives in some sort of way. But at the end of the day, if you treat this like a video game or game theory, where you're competing against other players, whoever has the best game mechanics wins the match. Now, the match doesn't have an end, but it's like Rust that never gets wiped. If you guys ever played Rust. Just play the game long enough. Don't worry about if you have $100, $1,000, $10,000. Worry about the percentages involved and just keep going. All right. And here's the thing, like if you stay in the market long enough, like I've been here for like 3.5 years. So like I haven't been here for like 10, 20 years, and I'm some sort of market veteran. But one thing that I've picked up is like the longer you stay here, you'll start seeing fractals. Fractals just being patterns that happen over and over and over again. And like you'll see it every single time. Like you'll see it over and over and over again. And then finally, like in the future, you'll be like, "Oh, I've seen this 1,000,000 times." And then you'll play it the way that's supposed to be played, and then boom, you make some money. All right, but you have to be in the market long enough in order to obtain that skill. Simple as that. It just feels like people expect to have that happen overnight. That's the thing. Like, it's very demotivating if you don't have a lot of money. Like, obviously, everybody's goal for being here is not to be a revolutionary. Like most people in the crypto market, I would say 99.9% are here to make money. And when someone tells you don't worry about making money when you're clearly here to make money, that's useless. But at the same time, it's the most useful thing I can ever say to you. Ever. Don't worry about making money. Learn how to make money so that way you can actually make money. Period. Period. Don't worry about making money so that you can learn how to make money to actually make money. Did you get a sleeve? You talking about tattoos? Over dabble in, so I've bought stocks. I don't trade stocks personally. But AMD, Nvidia, Tesla, some vaccine stock. What's some other ones I've gotten into in the past? There hasn't been very many stocks I've bought into. Sleeve? You get a sleeve? You talking about? Oh, did you think my shirt was a tattoo? How did you get the 125 RSI? Simple. right? You double click on the RSI, you go to the inputs, you go right here to length, type 125, click OK. On Bybit, same thing. Double click, 125, boom. I was introduced to the 250 length RSI like one night talking to a friend, and I just liked the concept. I saw some interesting things that was happening at certain levels, and I started using it, but I didn't like how de-exaggerated it was. So I went to 125, which is half of it, and I kind of just fell in love with it because it makes the market bearable, where not every single little move causes a massive bearish divergence and has you screaming for your mother. It de-exaggerates it so that it's pretty much a mirror image of price action, except for where it matters. That's the thing. Like, people will go, the 125 RSI looks exactly like price action, right? But it does. And that's what I love about it. It looks exactly like price action, except for where it matters, except for where the divergences are. Otherwise, it'll stay the same. It's like right here, right? Right here, we had lower low, higher low, right? Other than that, it looks like a carbon copy of price action the entire time. Carbon copy, except for where those little instances matter. So when you see a divergence with the 125 RSI, I call it the meal ticket divergences. It's actually going to make you money. I know you talked about inverse perpetual and why are you using USDT pair? But what are the main disadvantages to trading inverse perpetual in a bull/bear market? So it's really dependent on who you are and what your opinion on the market is. So inverse perpetual, if you are in a full-fledged bull market that you're absolutely certain is going to continue going up, yeah, you would want to play on inverse perpetual, because not only is the profit from the actual trade going to be coming in for your longs, but the profit from holding the margin, because on inverse perpetual, you have to actually use BTC in order to long BTC. And then you get paid out in BTC. So it makes it much more profitable to hold the asset and trade the asset if it's all going up. It's just over the past couple of months, as we were sitting around that 50 to 60K mark on BTC, I had a feeling that we were going to drop in the market. So I chose to have these accounts on USDT because you're not tripping. Like, that's the problem with leverage trading. It opens up so many avenues to try to make your money back, or maybe you took too much of a loss because you weren't planning on it. With USDT, the entire market is collapsing, and I'm just chilling with a coffee watching the fire burn, just shorting. I don't have to worry about my portfolio going down 60%. I can just short, I can just, watch the market balance itself out. I don't have to worry about making my losses back. Whereas with inverse perpetual, the market went down, 70% on Ethereum and, 60% on BTC. You have to worry about making your losses back emotionally. You don't really, because you can just wait and just play the market as it goes. But that's pretty much at the end of the day, like, what's the main difference? USDT, you might not make as much money, but what you are doing is having a lot easier time emotionally, because even during these small pullbacks, people still lose their shit and they still start to freak out. With USDT, you don't have to worry about your account going down. And as well as that, with Bybit, you have a lot more options. You can trade multiple different coins holding one asset that's stable than having to swap between 4 different assets just to make a little bit extra. That's really how I see things. As well as that, for people like me, having YouTube channel, USDT is an easy way to add validity. All right. If my challenge account is going up in value, it's not because the market's going up in value, all right, because I'm holding these coins. It's because I'm making trades, all right? The account value is based off of my performance as a trader. Now, on the challenge account, I have made purchases. I bought a little bit of Ethereum. I put $600 into Ethereum when we hit that 1950 level. And so far we made like $230 profit. I put $600 into EOS when we hit $5. So far we made about $100, maybe $5.20 or something like that. I might have missed the actual bottom. But besides that, most of it's in USDT. All right, those are just DCA points. But I've personally fallen in love with trading USDT. It's so much less stress, personally. And I get it. Like, you got a bunch of people that are going to shout from the rooftops, USDT is a scam. Like, it's going to crash the market. When USDT might be shady. All right, there might be some things that you might not agree with. But for the most part, they've proven to be legit. All right, if USDT was a scam or was actually shady, they would have been gone during the 2018-2019 bear market. They would have been gone. All right, scam coins don't hang around during bear markets. There's no reason for them to. All right, now you could be like, they're playing the long game. Really? Dude, these scam coins aren't that deep. All right, scam coins pop up for a hot second, they steal people's liquidity and they leave. They're gone. All right, USDT, I don't think is going anywhere. It's just FUD to crash the market sometimes. It makes for good YouTube clickbait at the end of the day. We don't do Telegram anymore. We do Discord, and we do scalp sessions there. For anybody in the Discord, I don't know if we're gonna do the scalp session tonight. All right, because there's really nothing to scalp. All right, just looking at this, probably tomorrow night is when we will do the scalping session. All right, because by that time, if we do happen to see this pullback, we should be down towards that 0.382, 0.5 region, and we can start playing the smaller time frames, looking for a bullish divergence to take us back up. You know, hopefully to get somebody a really good entry. But there's real no reason for, at this point, I'm going to bed soon anyways. There's just, I don't see any approaching entries for anything. If you guys want to join the Discord, it is a paid Discord. Like I said, it's up to you if you join. I'm not trying to force anybody to join. But you can go through the Patreon link in the description. All right. Please, I know you might want to get in and join the scalp. Well, those are going to be common. We're going to do those like a couple times a week. And I'll definitely be active in the Discord as well. But please wait until the 1st to 2nd of June. Okay. Don't sign up right now, or else it's going to charge you $50 and then it's going to charge you $50 on the 1st. Don't want that to happen. I'll refund you if you want me to, but just know it takes money out of my pocket to do that. When it tells you that that's going to happen as you're signing up. How to go long and short on one. So you can do sub accounts, which is found in the account and security tab, or you can do USDT. USDT, it's as simple as opening a long, and then when you have your long open, You open a short. All right, if you open a long on inverse perpetual and then open a short, it's just going to cancel out the contracts. All right, so like let's say you had 8,000 contracts going long on inverse perpetual, and then you opened up a 4,000 contract short on inverse perpetual. Now you're just going to have a long with 4,000 contracts. It's just going to cancel buy and sell. But with USDT, you can have an open long and open short at the same time. What game is open on Epic Games? The only game I have downloaded is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. What's the best VPN to use in the US? I don't know which one's best. I mean, like, they all do the same thing. Honestly, I use NordVPN, but whether that's the best, I don't know. I'm thinking about maybe playing through Witcher 3 again, because it's such a crazy good game that maybe I'll just play through like the Blood and Wine DLC. Really good DLC. All right, guys. I'm not gonna delay any further. I need to get some food ordered for me and the youngin, and then I'm probably gonna hit the hay. I love you guys very much. I'm happy to be back. Like I said, last time I was here, I don't want to promise anything. I don't want to say I'm gonna be back tomorrow. Like, unless the market's really popping and there's something new to talk about every single day. Like I said, I don't live stream for clicks and views and to boost my the Patreon and stuff like that. Like, for me, I stream when I feel like there's information to be said. Some input on the market that could be useful. So, I would like to get back to a more regular schedule just to talk to you guys, even if there's nothing major going on in the market. But for me, like, live stream is not my main priority in life. So I'm not going to do it just to do it. All right. So I'll try to be on tomorrow. I might skip tomorrow to be more active for the scalping session if we do happen to go down to these lower levels. But yeah, definitely, I do want to maybe come Monday, I'll go ahead and start hopping on for maybe an hour a day. Maybe not going down so many crazy rabbit holes, but next market crash, I'm looking to load up on Roblox. Dude, I know I'm laughing, but that is honestly probably one of the greatest ideas. Roblox, it's crazy to think that Roblox is still around. When I was 10 years old, all right, I was playing Roblox. In third grade, 8 years old, when I was 8 years old, I was playing Roblox. And to think that kids today are still playing Roblox blows my mind. It blows my mind. That is still such a popular game. All right. 2008 is when I was playing Roblox. And to think that my nephew, like, oh, God, dude, Roblox, like, screw Minecraft. Roblox is the OG. All right. But I appreciate you guys very much. Ishan, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Nestor, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Have a good one. Thanks for everything, bro. Take care and stay strong. I will. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Joshua, love you too, Kite. Thank you. I love you too. Corvus Light, as always, thank you for your time. You too, buddy. You could talk about whatever and I would gladly listen. Dude, I once again, like, a lot of the shit that I say is just that. It's shit. It's bullshit. All right. When it comes to like philosophy and stuff, I would love to think that I have at least some sort of logical grasp on all this. But at the end of the day, I'm just a kid just talking. And I don't think anybody's got it figured out at the end of the day. But I think people are just too scared to say what they think. Actually, I take that back. There's a lot of bullshit out there. But I think people are just too scared to say what they think about stuff that actually matters. That's all. Not goodbye fake out time. All right. Not goodbye fake out time. Let's see. Lil Bew, I love you. I'll see you soon. Enjoy food? Thank you very much. I appreciate that, man. All right, guys. No goodbye fake out time. I love you. I'll see you guys soon. All right, like I said, I don't want to promise that I'm going to see you tomorrow or the next day, but I will see you guys soon. I'm feeling better. We've defeated the nicotine monster. All right. I can say it. All right. And my motivation was the entire time. So like, Dad, if you're listening, I love you, Dad, very much. But constantly was told as a kid that my dad would quit cigarettes for my birthday, for Christmas. That was the one thing I would always wish for. And, you know, he would never do it. And I go, it must be because cigarettes are super hard to kick the habit, which they are. But I proved that it just takes some actual willpower. So, all right, guys, I'll see you next time. Good night. Have a good time. And I love you very much. I don't know which songs we're going to put on, so I'm just going to switch it to the ending soon screen and then plop something on. Love you. Let's do the thing. It's been a long time since we did the thing. Bye.
Sit on the couch, ho, pimp shit, intro to outro. Rich and I'm shallow, spit like thinking I might choke. Drink like Cinco de Mayo, tints on the ride home. Bitch, I been trying to hide, pop shit like Prince or a Michael. All white whip, it's albino, by no means I'ma quit, I'ma die on top. Pop, pop to the enemy, shot with a cop, tendency. Hot like I got felony, gotta be a dog, top, pedigree. Give me top, in the top, mezzanine. While my open around, right in front of me. Gotta fuck 3 for the night to be fun of me. Swipe, check the price, all of me. Homie is the best, strap to your chest like dungaree. Enemy, a whole smoke, rum, chimity. I'm so ho living, but I'm homegrown mentally. I'm so wise that the homies trying to get like me. My bro from Brooklyn, he call us Timothy. I both load of women like we going on a trip. Don't trip, cause my bros clip so finicky. The slow-mo, fucking with the cocoa. Hennessy put me at peace like when Casey and JoJo sing to me. What the fuck? By 9 p.m. I need a possible bitch at the crib. Hop up in the sleigh with a big bag of gifts. I don't put my time in the chit chat, I'm rich. Hop up in the sleigh with a big bag of gifts. Take it through the city and get back the kids. Once you get to top and I Big Mac the bitch. I don't put my time in the chit chat, I'm rich. Rich. She fuck like a celebrity more than me, I gotta repeat, but she freak, I never cheat, but I see 3 of them. I've been working smoking in my bedroom for a decade. That ain't gon' change, I don't need them. I'll be damned if I was 17 battling for my freedom. They told me they had better ideas than me, I don't see them. Y'all said you were fans of Token. Well, it's time you meet them. I've been learning that what's running my generation is fear. I've been learning that you cannot teach dedication to peers. I've been learning by myself, you've been very patient. I'm here, finally. Alright, I've been invincible ever since I was told that being different is a gift I hold. Been driven ever since my initial video, trying to get into shows on my tippy toes. I define persistence, I'll tell you to your face as if you didn't know. So anyone trying to confirm their practice, I don't listen to talk, I observe the action. That's why I work like it's pure mechanics. Automatically swallow batteries, burp the acid. These work like magic. These bursts of passion could reverse the Earth's determined axis. I left the world and I ain't returning, bastards. I live by my words now, research the mad quest. I don't receive your distractions. You rely on teamwork, but all of your team work like asses. And I can talk about the success of my own career and say I'm the fucking leader of that shit. That's that shit to turn a coward to a buddy hoping for power above me. But I wouldn't count with your money if I was without any house who was hungry and you had thousands and thousands to fund me. I'm 17 and you're a child to me. How funny. Give me a second. Alright, with independence I built up a method. No women and men will be given the leverage of limiting anything. I don't really gotta be thinking about a limit. I literally eliminate every limit who living and nobody really wanna be giving me lip, because even all of my literacy will lift you to heaven. Just so I can drop you below. Whoa. Hasn't been a motherfucking second that I'm not in control. No. Humans are so goddamn weak, but know that I got loftier goals. So, just because it's never been done, man, it doesn't mean that I won't make it happen. I know I will make it happen. If I said I'll make it happen, just know I will make it happen. And I haven't even received the knowledge to fail. Not pressured by the pressure when all else is lost, I prevail. Self-talk. Yeah. Self-taught since first grade, writing my first rhyme, hiding it under my bed and hoping no one would find. Next week, suspended again and watching my mom cry like, why we paying this therapist for all of his time? Self-taught since 5th grade, hating myself, getting ditched by all of my friends, blaming myself. Found GarageBand on the computer. I was bored, I've been writing for 4 years. I might as well record. Self-taught since 8th grade, first solo mixtape. Getting laughed at with so much hate. People embarrassed to be around me. I went home, I'll just stay inside. I was inspired to grow, self-taught. Until now, as I write this, looking at this project like, I hope they like it. But as I write, what helps me make it better? As I try to forget, what forces me to remember? These are rights of shape. Ripped jacket with the